Mahadev. Hello everyone. Let's understand something very important and fundamental in Vedic astrology, which is about Kendra and Trikone. Why these houses are very important, why we see them all the time in the texts, and why they are always used in the sutras given by our ancient Maharishis. So, we have to see the relationship between them, what do they mean fundamentally, and what are the secrets. Let's figure it out in this video today. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and watch till the end. Check out the playlists where I explain about planetary conjunctions and much more. So, what is Kendra? Kendra houses. Most of you must be knowing Kendra houses are nothing but 1, 4, 7, 10, these 4 houses. 1, 4, 7, 10. First house, which is the ascendant, the Lagna, it is where the soul emerges, the emergence of the soul. It is the Lagna, the body, the Kaya, the very physical existence of us. And 10th from it, the 10th house is where this body, the ascendant, gets its exposure. It is the sky up above. It is the ascension of the ascendant. Also, the organic seed, the father. This is the place where the bodily, earthly expression of the ascendant gets exposure. The expression or the light, the very radiant light of the ascendant is the 10th house. That is why it is reputation, it is work, it is career, it is the nature of the work, and it is the glory, fame, wealth, condition, status of the native from time to time is also calculated from here. Okay. Now, from father we emerge. So, 7th from the father, 4th house, 7th from the father, 4th house, the desire, the kama of father, the wife of father, who is the bearer of the seed of the father, protector of the seed of the father, who is the mother. That is 4th house. It is also the heart and the mind. It is our soulful relationships, soulful friendships which we have, whom you call your own. We call in Hindi apna, apna, priyajan. That is 4th house. Your own, who is close to your heart. That is calculated from 4th. 4th house is also property, wealth, nourishment, your overall nourishment, contentment, how content you are. That is why Jupiter, the contentment giver planet, who becomes exalted in the 4th house, in number 4 sign. Right? And it is also the place of the unexpressed karma, the fetus, or the bhrun we call, the unborn baby, the womb. The 4th house is the womb, because it protects, it bears that fetus, which is the unexpressed karma. When it gets expressed, it goes into the 10th house. Right? So, that is 4th house. Now, what is 7th house? 7th house is the descent of the karma. Descent of the ascendant. Descent of the lagna, right? Not karma. Descent of the ascendant. Opposite. This is where the ascendant, this is the desire, the kama of the ascendant. First house is you, yourself, and 7th house is your spouse, your desire, your lust. So, this 7th house is also not only lust, it represents all kama, all desires, all material desires, all material engagements, all material indulgence. The experiences. The bhogas are also represented from it. Bhogas are nothing but experiences, not only consumptions. These are experiences. So all the experiences, whether it is the material fulfillment of desires through your business partnerships, or the desirous sumptuous fulfillment through your marriage, that is represented from the 7th house. Because through why it is a descent? Because through those consumptions, or through those by repetitive bhogas or experiences of those material earthly experiences, a human being reaches its end. Through sex, the life force diminishes slowly. So that is 7th house. So these are these 4 houses which are called Kendra, or they are also called Mul Bhava. Mul Bhava in the sense houses. The Mul means root. So they are the root houses or origin houses, or let's say original houses. And rest 8 houses does the manifestation of these 4 main houses. Now if you draw a triangle from the first house, we get a triangle. We get a trine. That triangle covers 1st, 5th and 9th, right? First house, 5th house and 9th. 5th house is 120 degree away from the first house. So this 5th house is the trine of the first house. The Mul Bhava, or the Kendra houses, represents that original nature, the Mul nature, the original root nature, and the trine from that represents the manifestation of that nature. This is the secret. Trine represents the manifestation of that Mul Prakriti, which is the main nature of that Kendra house. For example, Lagna, which is the first house, that manifestation will be the Medha or Buddhi, the intellect of that particular person, that is the 5th house. His expression, that is the 5th house. Right? Like that, all the Mul houses 1, 4, 7, 10 has their respective trine, respective Trikone, which are 4 Trikone we have, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha triangle we call them, Purusharthas, which I will explain in the next video. Next video I will explain them separately, that will become a long one. So I will make it easier and separately. Now here we have to understand what is this relationship between these Mul houses, meaning the Kendra houses, and the Trikone houses. So as I said, this is the manifestation of the Mul house. Now the planets which are sitting in these houses, in the Mul house, this quadrant, and the Trikone house, and their relationships, the house relationships and the aspects relationships, whatever they have, gives the strength to that particular horoscope and to that native. From this only great Raj Yogas are formed and calculated. If there are good Raj Yogas, the person can be like a king. He becomes kingly. A person can be a construction worker, yet he will have a very kingly attitude, a kingly personality. Other people will be drawn towards him. Even though he carries a 50 kg cement bag on his shoulder, yet everybody is impressed by him. A daily wage worker. So it's not always that if there is a Raj Yoga, meaning you become a king, you have elephants and you have all those luxurious things. No. There are various levels. So we will come to that later. Now this is why these two houses, these two, Trine and Kendras has been called Laxmi and Vishnu and Laxmi Bhava, Kshetra actually. Vishnu and Laxmi Kshetra, Kshetra means area, by Maharishi Parashar. Vishnu and Laxmi Kshetra. Okay, Vishnu Kshetra meaning 1, 4, 7 and 10. He represents the Mul Prakriti, our actual nature, the main nature of the person, the original nature. And from that, the trine of that, who is the Laxmi Kshetra, the manifestation of that nature. So if there is good relationship between Laxmi and Vishnu, Vishnu and Laxmi, the person will be lucky. He will have a very good fortune. He will have a Raj Yoga. He will have kingly status. Everything will be wonderful about that individual. Now if there are maladjunct, malinfluence, bad planet aspects and negativity around those houses, relationships between those houses, the person has to go through stormy, wind. Life will be torrid, at least to some extent, to some time. The growth of the individual, the development of that individual will have hindrance because of these malinfluences. And through the bad influences, the bad inspirations, the inspiration the the person will draw will lead him to a disastrous path, where we see that people make disastrous mistakes in their life or lead a horrific life because of ignorance or because of not understanding what is right and what is wrong, follow a unrighteous path and create a disaster out of his life. So this is what it is, we have to see. Now it is your duty to see how your Kendra and Trikone houses are. And if you like my video, please give it a like, comment which Raj Yoga you have, and subscribe to my channel so that I can explain in my next video the other trines, which are the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha triangle, the Purusarthas. First is the Dharma triangle, the first, fifth and ninth. I will talk about it more in the next video. So I wish you all the best. Har Har Mahadev.